Well, good Thursday evening. I hope you guys all had a great day today, especially as most of us, for the most part of the day, actually stayed dry. Well, a live look at Benton, you can actually see on the square that cement is wet. We've been watching some areas of drizzle starting to get a little heavier every now and then. This is again a live look over Benton. Not seeing that mix yet for them, but there's other areas that are starting to see that mix. But real quick, want to point out our temperature sitting there at 35 for Benton. We have those winds right now coming from the west, 7 miles per hour, variable between 10 and 15 miles per hour. We've seen some wind gusts pick up. Hope everything's okay. I see all the activity there at the square, but with those winds, it actually feels like it's the upper 20s. So of course, it's definitely a time for jackets out there. We are still watching that upper level low. You can see it really slowly rotating. The jet streams kind of just got it stuck where it is over place, so you can kind of see all the rain. Now, what I'd say the radar is not doing a great job at is really being able to see what is what. And I'm talking about rain versus mixing versus snow. And I can tell you, we've already started to get some reports of some good snowflakes coming down with some good ample moisture in the air. So the bigger the flakes, the more moisture that's in the atmosphere. It's really fun stuff, but something I've got to tell you, it's not really accumulating. It might accumulate on lighter color cars, on the windshields, but again, it's not really seeing anything, even on the grass. We didn't even see that last night, so that's some good news. But what we are watching for on our radar and satellite is that we are still seeing some really wet conditions. So whether it's mixed precipitation or just rain, we are going to be watching for some mixing as we go into the early morning hours. Notice our temperatures dipping back down into those mid 30s. It doesn't matter what the feels like temperature is. Some areas onto the back end there of southeast Missouri by the early morning hours Friday, going to be a little windy at times, gusts up to 15 miles per hour because the back end of that low where it sets up, we are going to be watching for those temperatures. If they dip a little bit more, you'll probably see on the more snow side, but the warmer we stay, the better chance that we have of that ice mixing. It looks like a hodgepodge, and it's really hard for us to kind of calculate where you're going to see what. It really depends on not just the surface temperature, what we're seeing here, but the temperatures higher up in different layers of the atmosphere. So we do look to warm up as we go through the afternoon by your Friday. Those rain showers should taper off by at least early morning Saturday, but there's a chance that that might still stick around. So threat tracker, the things to note: mixed precipitation on the way, going to be a really icy commute for some of you guys waking up tomorrow and of course this evening. So watch out for that. Watch out for the deer. Give yourselves and other people enough room. Cool temperatures, of course, even on the back end of that, we're going to be tracking some rather cool, more December-like temperatures. And then, of course, we got to talk about your New Year's Eve forecast. So before I jump into that, download the Storm Track 3 app. I mentioned that there's definitely things that we're going to be looking at as far as changes goes with this forecast, and that Storm Track 3 app will get you set and where you need to go. So real quick look at those temperatures. Yeah, most of us now dropping into those lower and mid 30s. Paducah sitting at 35, 37 there for Cape Girardeau. Not too much differences. In fact, I'd say we're all pretty much uniformed into those 30s. Now, as we go into the early morning hours, look at that, 2 in the morning. That's where we definitely see that temperature drop into those mid 30s. That's our best chance, I'd say, of not just the snowfall chance that you see that mixing, but also maybe those gusty winds. So now checking in with those New Year's Eve midnight forecast for you. Yeah, temperatures do look to celebrate themselves back down into those lower 30s and upper 20s. So if you guys are heading